All right, good afternoon, BBFG. I am your host, Philip Dunn, the founder of the Black Business Focus Group, and I'm here coming to you live with another edition of Fridays with Phil, and I'm joined with a very special guest. A very special guest, none other than Marla Lewis, the president of the Houston Black Real Estate Association. Good afternoon, Marla.
Good afternoon, Philip. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I want to thank you for your time coming out and being with us and helping to impart some information with the Black Business Focus Group. Before we begin, I want to do just a couple of quick housekeeping reminders. Make sure that you continue to welcome new members into the group as they join the group. Make sure that you fill out the new member intake form that's out there under the announcements. And then also, if you haven't yet done so, make sure that you sign up for our premium group, the Black Business Focus Group Founding Advocate Members Group, where you can get some premium content, some premium activities, and other premium benefits that you don't find in the original Black Business Focus Group. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce our special guest, Marla Lewis, who's the president of Houston Black Real Estate Association. Marla, I want you to tell us, congratulations, first of all, on becoming the president, but I want you to give us a little bit about your background and how you became to be associated with Houston Black Real Estate Association.
Thanks for having me, Phil. Well, my background is this. I began, I got out of high school and started working immediately. I wanted a career that I could, be flexible, but I could also help people. I just didn't know at that time how much helping people was going to cost. And what I mean by that is it is my passion. And so for that reason, once I heard about the Houston Black Real Estate Association and what their mission is involving democracy and housing, I had to be a part. That's pretty much how I found and fell in love with HBREA.
Now, see, I love that because I think it speaks to, you're drawn towards the mission. You're drawn towards not just, making sure that home ownership is something that everyone strives for, but then there's something larger to this, right? And that's economic empowerment. And Houston Black Real Estate Association is actually a part of a larger organization, NAREB. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about NAREB as well.
That's correct. NAREB was founded, it's been around for a long time, since 1947. And NAREB was very instrumental in having the fair housing laws passed in 1968. We've worked very, very hard to empower our people to become homeowners, to invest, to learn about real estate and how it can help you, and not just you, but your family. NAREB was started by 12 people. And it was started at a time that you could go to school to, do all the studying. You could pass the real estate test and all. You could just, have the same credentials. However, you could not be a part of what's called the National Association of Realtors. And so that didn't stop them. They started NAREB, or National Association of Real Estate Brokers, in hopes that they're able to empower our people to be able to still maintain home ownership. And we're still a part of that today. HBREA is very in tune to carrying out the mission of educating people on what home ownership means, not just for you, but for generations to come.
And I'm so glad to hear that because, when I take a look at the statistics, what I've seen in the past is that Black home ownership is usually twice the rate of white home ownership. And so we're almost locked out of the American dream. But it's almost disheartening. It's very disheartening to hear that, folks who wanted to practice in real estate were locked out of practicing real estate or being associated with the national body. And so, when I think about that rate, the home ownership rate between the different communities, what specifically can we expect from a group like Houston Black Real Estate Association to be doing to help close that gap?
You can expect education from HBREA. One of the things that we do feel, we have a ABCs of home buying class that's held once a month. It's a free class and anyone can attend. It is a HUD certified class. So let's say if you have someone who qualifies for down payment assistance, that certificate that they receive from that class is the certificate that they would need in order to say, hey, I've taken the class, I've been educated on what homeownership is about, what to expect, all of those types of things. And with many other organizations, they're doing that class, but they are charging for it. We want the people to have the information that they need in order to maintain homeownership. So you can expect a lot of education.
So now I've got to ask, there's a couple of questions that came in before the broadcast. And one of them was around, is the Houston Black Real Estate Association, is it limited to just real estate, professionals, realtors or realtors? Who else can join the Houston Black Real Estate Association?
You know what? The beauty of it, Phil, anyone can join.
Oh.
Anyone can join. If you are a consumer and you believe in democracy and housing, you can join. If you are a real estate professional, you can certainly join. If you're an inspector, you're an insurance agent, you are a title person, you are a mobile detailer, you are you have a lawn service, anyone can join. And we ask that people do join. Another thing is this, many people hear the Houston Black Real Estate Association, and so they wonder if they can become a part. Yes, you can become a part. And the reason for that is this, Phil. Anytime any group is shut out of home ownership, it affects us all. For every 2 homes sold, 1 job is created. So how important should that be, not just to Black people, not just to, to any certain race of people, it should be important to all. And so that is the reason that we're trying to get our numbers up. We're trying to get, home ownership up into the 70s, as a 70 percentile, as some of our other counterparts, that's what we are working hard to do. And so anybody can join us.
I'm glad to hear that, because we're working from a position where we're trying to overcome a deficit, right? And in some instances, we can't do that on our own. It's going to take the entire collective of us in the United States to work together to do that. But I'm so glad to hear that anyone can join who's aligned with the mission of Houston Black Real Estate Association. As you know, Marla, in the Black Business Focus Group, we receive requests all the time for real estate agents, for carpenters, for all sorts of things. So I'm so glad to hear that you all are building that network within your organization to help service the entire community. I wonder if you can tell us a little bit more about some of the training and some of the webinars and seminars and some of the programming that you offer beyond some of the classes that you offer to homeowners.
Okay, to homeowners, we do, well, it was a little bit different last year because of COVID, but every year we reach out to the community and we partner with churches, our faith-based committee. We partner with churches all around, and we do home buying seminars where people can come out and get their questions answered. I remember before I became a homeowner many years ago, I had questions, and just, I would think about different questions, think about the fear of, how to just get the process started, how to You know, what would I need? How much money would I need? Those types of things. And so when we do these home buyer things, that's a chance for people to come out. And we certainly have some things coming up this year, 2021, whether we do them virtually because we may have to versus in person, for people to get their questions answered, because we believe that with the right education, you can obtain home ownership, and it may not be as difficult as you think.
Well, that's another, thing I wanted to jump into is that, you have some folks that are already homeowners, but they're looking
Mhm,
at property ownership as an investment opportunity.
mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about why home ownership as an investor is also something that we should consider in our community?
Oh my gosh, yes, I can, because I'm an investor myself. You know, it's very important. Our ancestors, one thing that they knew that we don't know or don't acknowledge, I guess, is how important ownership is. You know, grandmother, great grandmother, they bought lots. They bought, you know, it may have been a small home, but they bought it. It was theirs. They owned it. It's so important to be able to do that, because what ends up happening is this: homes are appreciating assets. And that's how we have to start looking at things. You know, in our community, a lot of times we run out and buy a car
Right,
because a car is easier. You know, I can just get a car,
right,
but it's a depreciating asset. And so with real estate, it's appreciating. And I mean, it is appreciating at a rate that is unbelievable, even to people like myself that own. Um, Another reason it's important to invest is because it allows you to be the landlord.
right,
You're collecting the check.
right,
Rent cannot be, rent isn't controlled.
right.
And so, with that being said, you want to make sure that you're the one on that end that's collecting the rent and not paying the rent.
Right.
Mhm.
So it offers up another stream of income, a steady stream of income, depending upon how long you structure your contracts and leases. It's an asset that can be handed down generation to generation.
Absolutely.
Our
Absolutely.
ancestors understood this, tremendously. They knew that holding land and property, was going to mean something to, the next generation.
It
Uh,
was going to pay off, Phil, and it is paying off. I'll tell you a quick um scenario, a true scenario. I have a girlfriend that called me, and she lost her husband a few years back.
mhm,
And so she has a home, and you know, she was telling me some things that she needed to do and so on and so forth. Well, you know, upon talking, I'm, you know, listening to her, and then it just clicked. I'm like, well, wait a minute. We have money. What
right,
do you mean? We have money. And she said, really? And so I was able to point her in the right direction. And even when I, you know, got her with the bank, they told her, ma'am, you're in a excellent position. And she said, I am, really? She had no idea.
right,
And so that's another part of what we are about. We want to not just get you in the home, we want to teach you how to maintain. We want to teach you how to have those investment properties working for you, because
mhm,
they really, really can work for you. I tell you something else. I have another girlfriend. With each child that she and her husband had, they bought a house, not
uh,
for them, but she said in the beginning, this is what's going to pay for my children's college. And I'll be doggone,
yeah.
it's happening right now. Her kids are older now, graduating and all of that. It's happening for them. So I want other people to be empowered as well to be able to do those things, because they can.
And I'm glad to hear that, because it's not just, it's homes, it's apartment units, it's condos, it's beach house, vacation rentals, all these
Yes.
different types of varieties of properties we can invest
Yes.
in that can generate a return over time, we
Hmm.
need to, seriously be open to that. I mean, if we've got the discretionary income, I'm not telling people how to spend their money. If we got the money to spend on the new J's and the PS5, then we can
Correct.
also put aside some money to invest in these other things. So, so glad to hear that you're driving home that message, and HBRA is driving that
Yes.
home as well.
And
Uh, I,
I think a lot of times people are looking for the perfect place,
mhm,
and it doesn't have to be perfect, whether it's investment or whether it's something that you are going to reside in. It
right,
doesn't have to be perfect as long as it is going to appreciate. That's
right,
the main thing. Does the numbers make sense?
right. And I've seen that a friend of mine is rehabbing a home right now, and I went out to help him, hang some sheetrock one day, and one of the things that he said, it doesn't have to be, this mansion. It just needs to be something that's livable, and
Hmm.
that we can generate a stable amount of income on. So I think that we have to open up our mind to all the possibilities with real estate. We think that we have to
Yes.
have this brand new home with no
Hmm.
issues. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of work, but it's something to invest in that can generate a nice return over time. So
Hmm.
I'm opening up my mind to it right now, and I know my wife is starting to open up her mind to it. What advice do you have to homeowners during COVID? I know it seems like as soon as I started staying home, my wife put me to work around the house. What are some of the tips and tricks that homeowners can take right now to increase the value of their home?
Hmm. Well, what you could do to increase the value of your home, one of the things I want you guys to keep in mind before you start any major projects around your home, contact a realtist.
Okay.
Let us know what projects you are going to do, because you want to, as a homeowner, you want to not over improve, so that you can, if you decide to sell, who knows, if you decide to sell, you want to be able to get a good return on the improvements that you've made. Also, you want to, not over improve, and because maybe you think about it later, you won't sell, but it can also become an investment property for
Right.
you. Hmm.
And so when I think about that, I also think about, stuff like, just painting,
Hmm.
maybe expanding a room. All of
Hmm.
those are the types of things that you would have in mind for folks to do. And then
Hmm.
also to check in with your realtist to make
Yes.
sure that, you're not over investing, over committing, and then also making sure that it makes sense,
Yes.
to make that type of a commitment. You said something that was interesting to me, and of course, I'm familiar with it, but I want our listeners to be familiar with it. You called
Okay.
our professionals realtists. Tell me what
Yes.
the difference is between a realtist and a realtor.
Okay. So I started out by telling you guys that our parent organization to HBREA is NARAB. So when NARAB was created and we could not be a part of NAR, the National Association of Realtors, we created Realtist. So today you'll hear the word Realtist. That's what that means. Of course, it's 2021 now, where we are able to be a part of the National Association of Realtors. So we're also Realtors, but we are Realtist, and that's what that word means.
Perfect, perfect. And see, I love that even though we couldn't participate in the larger organization or the mainstream organization, we still found a way to add value and to increase value amongst our community. In the last couple of minutes that we have, I want you to share a couple of things maybe we didn't cover
Okay.
in this session. Is there
Mhm.
anything that you want our viewers to know about the Houston Black Real Estate Association, about the work that you've done? You all have had some amazing leadership over the
Mhm.
years. I know Kimberly
Mhm.
Barnes has been the president, Donna
Mhm.
Parker has been the president, and now
Mhm.
you're the president. So you have some big shoes to fill, and no doubt that you're going to exceed expectations. Tell us a little bit more. Tell us what you want us to know about the men and women that comprise HBREA.
Well, what I'd like for you guys to know is that the men and women that comprise HBREA are professionals. We're ready to serve our community. that is why we are a part of the organization. And so with that being said, a lot of times, you know, people wonder, should we, you know, when choosing a professional to work with, you really want to take a look at who is a part of HBREA. We're people that are, you know, putting all hands on deck. We are doing the work. We are through our national organization, we're traveling. We are going to talk, you know, to legislators about different things that are happening so that homeownership remains affordable. As we all know, prices are going up. And we're working hard behind the scenes to make sure that the consumer is able to obtain home ownership. We're talking with different lenders on different loan products. I mean, we're really putting the work in. We are also, you know, we have some things coming up this month, actually, Phil, what you're going to come to our lunch and learn, and that will be on February 18th. So where we're going to be talking more about closing that wealth gap. We are very intentional about doing that. And so that's what I really want the public to know, that we're intentional about doing that. And since we are so intentional, we would love for the public to, one, join the fight, roll up your sleeve as much as you can and help us as much as you can. Become a member. I want people to know that if you're a real estate professional, there's no reason that you should not be a member. And if you need to become a member, you can do so by going to our website at www.hbreahouston.org. We are right now, it's under construction. We're doing some things with it to make it even better for 2021. But go to that website. You can also call our office at 713-551-2092. That's 713-551-2092. The last thing that I'd like for people to know is this. We are very intentional, very concerned about student loan debt. We're also very concerned about credit. Yes. Credit is one of those are two of the most important things that keep people, you know, from really opening up to us and giving us what they dream of as far as, you know, owning property, owning investment property. You know, those are things that can be overcome. Right. That's what I want people to know. And as realtors, we are trained to help you to overcome those things. We have the relationships that we need in order to help you to reach out to, you know, get your credit where it needs to be, in order to help you to understand your student loan debt and what you need to do to get back on track, whether you haven't paid it in 5 years or haven't paid it in 1 year. But we can help you, and we have a passion for that.
And see, I'm so glad to hear that. You know, everything you said is true from what I know about the men and women of Houston Black Real Estate Association. I'll add one more thing. The men and women of Houston Black Real Estate Association have been very committed to buying Black within the community. And I see the numbers that come through Black Business Focus Group. You all are buying Black, and you're within the top 10 groups across the United States that's buying Black. So there's all sorts of professional organizations that, you know, folks are out there with individuals that are buying Black, and they're making their commitment known to the Black Business Focus Group. Houston Black Real Estate Association is in that top 10. And so I'm proud to be associated with you all, proud of the work that you're doing, and I'm proud of the work that you all will do in the future as well. So I want to end on this one thing, and there's a ton of questions that are coming through, but we'll get to those after this broadcast. But I want to end on something fun, and I know that, you know, this was a very serious conversation. You gave us a lot of good information. But in the Black Business Focus Group, we do have some friendly competition. And we have teams. We have the red beans and rice team. which I'm
Uh-oh.
on, and then we have
Uh-huh.
the gumbo team, which the rest of the people are on. So
Okay.
are you team gumbo or are you team red beans and rice? Which one?
Oh my gosh.
Did I put you on
Let's
the spot?
do yes. Let's do red beans and rice.
There we go. There we go. All right. All right. All right. That's a good way to end this one. That's a good way to end this one, Marla. Well, Marla, thank you so much for your time. This has been a very enjoyable experience. I'm looking so forward to speaking to you all on Thursday, February 18th. To
Mhm.
everyone watching, we want to wish you a happy Black History Month. And until the next time we talk, remember, it's our time. Thank you all. Thank you, Marla.
Thank you.